You live, man.
We live. All right, you know what it is. Your man Tony Sco. Another edition of the After Party. Of course, it's Monday. The Monday following the huge Whitney Houston Memorial. So I just want to say right off the bat, man, shouts out to all the Whitney Houston fans that came out on Saturday and joined us at the Harold Washington Cultural Center. Whitney fans worldwide. My wife was on the couch looking like a crackhead, crying, man. But yeah, it was very touching. And it was 4 hours. It was a little long, but it was fitting for the talented voice that she was. My man Leon Rogers, of course, he's Leon Rogers during the show, but he is now. That's right, man. DJ LR. Any theme today, man? Or you just going in, man?
I'm going in, dog.
Going in.
Our beat seeing is how we got a
beat maker extraordinaire.
All classic hard beats.
You pulling them out
Some of your, you know what I'm saying, Jungle Brothers, a little bit of that.
Wow.
We're gonna dig. Native tongues, we're gonna spread it all around.
All that.
Hard beats though.
It's hard beats today. Nothing but hard beats, all right?
Grimy. When
we got my man.
Had a lot of drums and snares.
Right.
808 drum kick.
Fucking
flutes and harps.
Finger snaps.
harpsichord.
Right. Motherfuckers playing.
We got technical.
Motherfuckers playing cowbell.
Right.
Hey, yo, we got, man, one of the hottest producers in the game, man. My man Xtreme is in the building. Now, I know some of the people that you've worked with, some of the joints you've done.
Right.
Tell the people, man, just throw out a little bit of that pedigree so they'll know who my man is.
Man, I mean, I've been working with everybody, man, across the country, man. From starting here with Ye, working with him, working with Ghostface, Raekwon,
Wow,
Neo, DMX, Jay-Z, all type of people, newly signed, artists. My man YP at Universal.
Shouts out to YP, man.
You know what I mean? And just a gang of people, man, just trying to keep them. Jaheim. I mean, the list just goes on. I've been doing it for a minute.
I knew about your production things. Now, something I just learned out today was that you also, behind the scenes, have helped some artists actually get their deals.
Yeah.
My man, you just mentioned YP, just picked up a deal, man. Shouts to YP.
Yeah.
And, of course, my man Bump J. I just found out that you help put him on.
Yeah.
Now, coming from that perspective, just talk to the people real quick about what did you notice in those two guys that made you say, yeah, these are the guys I want to get behind, these are the guys I want to push? Was it their work ethic, their talent, or was it a combination of both?
It was a combination of both, because like a lot of people, I get a lot of flack a lot of times as a producer, because when I pick certain people to work with, the other artists locally that's doing their thing will be like,
why not me? Right, of course. Right.
Well, this is a perfect chance to answer that question.
Come on with it.
It a lot of times it don't have nothing to do with what I'm picking. It's like by the time it hit my ears, that means the artist's been doing their thing. They've been grinding. You know what I'm saying? So they've been putting mixtapes out, or they on the radio, or they in the hood. Like, you know what I'm saying? However it go, it's then got my ear. So by the time it gets my ear, then that means you already at a certain
That means
point.
you've done your work enough for it to hit your ear. Okay, cool.
So it really, a lot of times people got the misconception that you can just take somebody from A to Z.
Right.
I mean, and sometimes we do, but that's a lot of work.
And let's just be honest. Let's just be for real, out there. Those days are gone.
Yeah.
With the artist development, finding the guy that got a little bit of talent, he's a diamond in the rough. You're going to polish him up, give him the skills that he needs, give him the tutelage that he needs to come up. That don't happen no more. Record companies are looking for somebody that already got a buzz, already got a name out there on the streets. Somebody that, I'm not going to say that their work is halfway done for them, because there's still some guys out there to get it done, but do you feel that way? That there's some guys out there that they're just lazy? I'm going to sit at the computer all day and just basically count hits. Whoever got the most hits, that's the guy I'm going after. Never mind the talent level, you got the most hits.
But that's why you hear so many fucked up artists in the game today. I mean, because they own computers. It's like anybody got a computer, got no time to sit there all day, can just blog their shit all day long and make it look huge. But people at the labels a lot of times ain't listening to the records. They look at the numbers. But now you start to get a shift where the labels are trusting people like myself, like producers who know that really the development starts here. Like by the time it come to me, I gotta be able to turn it into the label to where it's all the way ready like it needs to be. Because nobody at the label knows what to do with these artists.
With the artists. Now, do you find that maybe it's coming back to them starting to trust a human being going out there again? Because what I think happened, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe you can clear this up. What I think happened is they got used to that, but once they start signing those artists wasn't viable. Like, the million hits didn't translate over to but 1,000 sales. So, I mean, you sat here and you bypassed a bunch of artists out there that could have been better for this guy that got 1 million hits.
Yeah.
But once you start working with this guy, he didn't sell but 1,000 records. So now, are they starting to go back to, let me send some folks out here and let's really get on the street? Because you can't tell what a guy's work ethic is like, what his character's like by what you see online.
Yeah, you got to come in the hood, man. You got to actually go and sit with these guys and see, like, you talking about the bump situation. Like, I remember when he got signed, like, Leo Cohen literally came to Chicago and went to Bump's crib.
I remember him talking about that.
Yeah, with a 50 Hennessy, like, of his own, and sat there with everybody and was just like, man, I love this shit. Like, he was just, like, vibing off the boom.
I remember his exact words was, I was in the living room with 100 goons, and Leo Cohen came through, and that's how he got signed.
But if Leo didn't have that presence to come down to where Bump was at, you feel me? Then Bump would have been like, or any other artist like him would have been like, well, man, they in the ivory tower. They don't really know what's going on down here. So when you come out the ivory tower, so now cats don't want to come out the ivory tower. They'll find cats like myself or other producers that's in the trenches and build relationships with us. So they always got their ear to the street. So I get calls from A&Rs like at least once every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, who's hired, what you doing? Or would you? I'm thinking about signing this person. Would you go in and work with them?
Wow.
So I mean, that's the way it goes. So it's all about your relationships and your track record now, because really they turning over money to you now. So they want to make sure that
they're gonna get some of that paper back.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a producer. And I ask everybody this who produces because I hear different answers all the time, and it's interesting to hear from a man to a man what they look for when they're producing.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your mindset when you go in to produce a track? Do you have an idea already? Do you have an artist in mind, maybe, or is it just totally organic? You sit down with nothing planned and see what comes out.
You know what? It's organic. I used to do a lot of sitting down with nothing planned just because I was just full of ideas and music at a certain point. Now that I'm a little bit more of a vet in it, it's kind of like I pick and choose my spots. So I like to work with, if I know I'm going in and work with an artist, I was like, okay, I know I'm about to go work with such and such a day.
Right.
So like maybe if I know a week ahead of time, I might listen to I might take a week and just listen to their artist for a whole week.
Get their vibe
and go in the studio. Then there are other times where like I'm literally just going in off the top of my head to see what I feel.
Now what works better for you? Because there are those that, like, I know I'm like this. You can give me 2 weeks to do something, and I may play around for 13 of them days.
Right.
But when I know, damn, I gotta have this in tomorrow, all of a sudden it comes out. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of those guys under the gun. I work better under pressure or work better under a short amount of time. Is it like that for you? Or
it is. It is. It's like I need to kind of be under pressure, under the gun. Because like I said, if I got too much, we creative-minded people.
It's hard to take which thoughts and you know what I mean? Like, I've been telling people, like, I want to write a book, but my thoughts are so fragmented. And like, if I'm feeling some way today, I may write that shit down. Then tomorrow I look at it like, what the hell did I smoke yesterday? Like, what was this about? You know,
I may do a beat to like maybe 6 in the morning, right? Leave the studio, come back the next day and put it on and be like, what? I don't even feel like I did it. You know what I mean? But I think that's that creative zone that you get in.
And then sometimes you just want to have a release. You just got to put something out. You know what I'm saying? And you may be feeling that way that moment. The next day you done had something to eat. You done slept. You feeling a little better. You come in like, what the fuck?
What the fuck was I thinking about yesterday? But man. So.
Hey, talk about working with some of the greats, man. Talk about being in the studio with Kanye, Jay-Z. Is there an intimidation factor in that? I mean, or are you confident enough and have done this long enough to know, I'm going to get something out of this. They're going to like something I put down.
Well, you know what? Like, my path was so different. Like, because I've been doing this almost 20, it'd be like 20 years next year.
Wow.
But, like, I started when I was like 18. So, my point in saying it is, I've been doing it for a long time. So, I worked with a lot of local artists and my own little crew people before I got a chance to work with the big artists.
Right.
So, by the time I was stepping in the studio with big artists, I was comfortable. I knew the studio.
You had grinded enough.
Yeah. I have a funny story. Like, the first time I had an issue I was in Philly and I was working with Music Soul Child, right?
Wow,
and,
shouts out to Music, that's my man.
And we was in the studio working, and he was singing a record, and I was producing a vocal, and he sang a flat line. So at that moment, that was the first time I had ever had to make a decision like, okay,
do I say something?
Do I say something?
Or am I just glad to be here?
Exactly.
Right.
And I took being from Chicago, it was like, of course, I said something.
Right.
I mean, and then, my name gonna go on this too.
Right,
so,
right.
So I told him, I was like, yo, that was a great take. You know what I mean? I said, I need you to do the line over. He was like, okay, yeah, really, why? I was like, it was flat. Man, he just backed up off the microphone and was like, it was flat? It was flat, huh? Okay, Xtreme says it's flat. Okay, now that was the most uncomfortable moment I had. But what actually happened was he did it over, and he heard it, and he was like, "Oh, yo, you was right."
Wow.
And at that moment, and imagine, I'm a hip hop producer at the time, really. So I'm working with my first R&B. He was big at the time, so it's almost like I really shouldn't know what I'm talking about.
And then you ain't know who he was talking to because he was looking over here while he was talking to you.
Right,
for sure. What is the difference that
you like, who the fuck you? Oh, me?
Right.
Oh, my fault, nigga. You side, man. It's that damn eye. Put your shades on.
This is what we all said about cats who know music. Like, I know a lot of cats that DJ, and I know a lot of cats that know music.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference. So a lot of people feel little stuff like that, the appreciation of music, the being able to hear.
Right. How many people would have even recognized it was a flat line? You know what I mean?
You can let it go.
Right.
But see, what you just said is the real shit, because doing what you doing is how I learned that.
Wow.
DJing, listening, when you listen to so much music, you gonna hit, when a motherfucker singing off key, even though you ain't necessarily a producer, you know what I'm saying? You know, you can hear it. So just listen to the radio all the time. You know, consumers are smarter now, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, that was the hardest moment. And after I did that and he responded and it actually worked and he kept it, man, I told anybody.
So then after that, you was like, it was no problem going forward telling the artist. All right, now, like, because we was talking about this with Really Though last week with Kanye.
Yeah.
Like, Kanye, he says Kanye's the kind of guy that if you're in the room and 9 people, he put the beat on for 9 people, 8 of them love it, the one person that don't like it, that's who he want to talk to.
That's who he want to talk to.
Is that how you like too? Like, you want to hear that one person that don't like it, and maybe why?
You want to figure it out because the goal of what we do is you want, when something hit the radio or hit the whatever, you want everybody to love it. So as a producer, you always should be studying people. Like, I go to clubs, I don't go out really like that, but if you see me in a club, it's 2 reasons. It's either because it's a special occasion or I'm there to vibe off the crowd
and see what they
vibing on. You feel me? Because I always want to study and learn how to make people move. Like I say, starting as a DJ. Start standing in front of people, controlling them. You pay attention to the crowd to see what they move to. So it's the same thing as a producer.
I say that too with now. Given that, say you go out one Saturday night, you in the club, you're vibing, you see what they listening to. Does that affect you when you go in, say Monday to produce? Do you draw some of that in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's some nights and he'll tell you I would go out literally just to do that, and then I go right to the studio.
Wow.
So I may go out. I may leave the club at 2 o'clock or 2, 3 in the morning. I will go right to the studio after that because I'm
got the vibe right there. You want it fresh.
And I ain't gonna make nothing that sound exactly what I just heard, but I'm gonna take elements.
The energy. When I say that, I'm not talking about going in reproducing what you heard, but I'm talking about the energy of the record, the feels, the tone, the texture of the record.
Like, an example, I ain't been out in a minute. I was in LA and I went out and that Meek Mill's record came on, right?
The House Party, I'm a Boss. I'm a Boss make you tear your shirt off.
Right.
I don't give a damn where you at.
Talking about. And it was right, man. 4 fights jumped off when he came on.
Right, you see what I'm saying? Right.
It's like that shit make you feel like
I'm telling you. Like if you still got, I don't care.
You be willing to be like,
you can be,
and I try to be cool.
Leon almost tore the whole damn studio up one day.
When we first played that shit, I was like, man, I just was like, I feel like going out here.
Right, tear shit up.
I always say
shit off the wall.
A good combination of a beat.
Yeah.
You know, you got certain artists that make you want to do shit. Like Rick Ross and the Clips make me want
to sell dope.
Right.
That's how the script that they are.
They gonna make you sell dope. I want you to go out here and sell dope.
None. Man. And get it off.
Like, when you
praise the Lord. Here, take that.
Like, but then, there's some artists where they beat.
That's that Leviticus.
Like, you just be like.
They just make you frown.
Like, for example, not that these guys weren't great lyricists. They all were great lyricists, minus maybe you guys.
Right.
Wu-Tang.
Right.
But certain beats RZA used to make you
like
want to tear some shit up.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be outside.
Let's
be honest. Let's be honest.
The street.
Let's be honest. Waka Flocka. Nobody's gonna ever say he's the most lyrical cat in the game. But you put one of his records on in the club, you got bitches on the ceiling.
Paint beat. Then somebody like Ross get on it and be like, I go hard in a motherfucker, paint nigga, touch 8 niggas.
Right.
And I'm like,
you just feel.
I'm gonna slap the first nigga.
Right. Here's the flip side of that. Like,
I'm sorry, mom.
What's the flip side of that?
Other producers, but like, even though I work
Come on
with
up a
him,
little bit in here.
he'll tell you about this one. Like, okay, Alchemist.
Alchemist, shouts out to my man
Alchemist. Al Prodigy.
Yeah.
You will sit in, like, we used to just sit up and be like, okay, for real, dude. Like, this shit is retarded.
Like, that's how music used to make you feel all the time. Now it's like you gotta go search. You gotta search for them records now.
Thank you. And I said that a couple weeks ago. I was like, maybe it's me, but I'm like, today's music, and I'm not just gonna put it on today, but some of this stuff out here today that when a song comes on and when it ends, I should be in a different mood than I was when that song started. If your whole record plays and I still feel the exact same way, I haven't had any change of emotions, any feeling whatsoever, your record wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? And I know we had those times where it ain't about thinking deeply. We just want to have some fun. There's records for that, and there's records to think deeply to, but your record got to make me move from point A to point B at some point, man. What do you think is, I'm not going to say missing in hip-hop, but what does hip-hop need right now, you think? I mean, to take it back to that good, that we were just talking about, that good feeling music to where you knew all the words to it. Everybody in the club is rapping.
So keep it simple, I just think it need realness again. It ain't like, you got to think about, like, back in the day, like, everybody that was rapping, no matter what their circumstances was, they was rapping about it. You know, so you had Fresh Prince and them, who was obviously not street niggas.
And they rap about that.
They rapped about it. You know, like Leon said, you had Wu-Tang. They came from their experience and what they rapped about, which was completely different. That Staten Island shit was completely different.
And it was God's and
and they exposed it to the world, which made them interesting because it was different. I just think today's artists are too busy copying everything they hear, so at the end of the day, you don't get no lifestyle changes. You don't get nothing original that lets you know, well, what do y'all do where y'all from on y'all block, y'all hood?
You make a good point when you just said, like, I'm from here, right here in Chicago, born and raised. Love the city of Chicago. Don't put nothing else on my back. But damn, I wouldn't have mind been from Staten Island back when Wu-Tang came out. It was like, dude, you want to be from Shaolin.
It was like,
you know what I mean?
You want to do the Method Man?
You want to do it.
I wore Wu-Wear in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to New York to buy their clothes, the Wu-Wear shit, and come back. Hey, me and Leon, I ain't gonna even lie. Me and Leon, this guy named Mark Simmons, was the first cats to bring Wallaby clogs back to Chicago.
I'm a
Leon too
died up.
Two-tone died.
I was in the army. Wu-Tang was at they hated.
Right.
So I hung him. Man, I had the whole night. I came home and mama was like, who are you?
I remember seeing you one day. Your hair was like, I remember. His tail was dragged.
Hey, this boy kept a little dried slob right here, just on purpose. Like, what? I'm grimy, son.
So you know,
but that's how the movement.
But it was a movement.
It was a movement. And even in LA, like we knew all the boroughs in New York. We knew all the streets of LA.
CPT, Compton,
we knew
all
that.
that.
We had to go to the jungle.
Right.
Before this.
Right. Thank you. Before the
bird clap.
Right. You know, the music, all from every region had its own sound. It was different, you know what I mean? So I just think from Chicago, we have to present that because really, they're not buying into music no more. They buying into
lifestyles. Right.
And if you was trying to sell, if you from Chicago, but you trying to sell an Atlanta nigga's lifestyle, the label's gonna be like, well, we got T.I., we got them already. We need what y'all got going out there.
Right.
So I think that's what's missing.
Say that
Chicago,
again, man.
Like real talk.
They need to hear that again because I hear cats out there and let's keep our shit exclusive to us. I mean, you're gonna dip and dab and you're gonna have influences, but like this man said, they're looking for something that they ain't getting out of Atlanta, something they ain't getting from New York, something they ain't getting from, the West Coast. What do you guys have specifically that you guys bring to the table?
Like, I always felt like Twista, Crucial Conflict brought a sound that was different.
Who's the first one? That was
the first
one. Really different. Like
exactly.
Before the Bone Thugs and Army and all that.
Crucial Conflict was just the country aspect.
And they brought the bounce.
And the bounce.
Now
the shit was hard though. Like,
yeah.
You was in your vehicle like.
Yeah.
Hey, but check this out. This out.
Man.
Here's some niggas from Chicago that did a damn video in the barn before the South even was hot.
Right.
That had if you go back and listen to Crucial back in the day, had the Southern little twang on the music and everything. So you know what I'm saying?
So that and at that time I think Chicago was we were so ahead of the game. The people you said they wasn't ready for us now. But now that they ready for us, that's what they want. Like that's what they want from us. And some of these artists play me stuff, man, and bring me stuff, and it'd be like, as soon as I put it on, it's like it don't sound like nothing from Chicago. It sound like from Atlanta or someplace else. And people think I be hating on the South. It's nothing like that. But I just want Chicago. Think about the biggest artists that's from Chicago rapping. Who are they? They Common. They're Twista. They're Lupe. These are all original artists in their own sound with their original
And I was just getting ready to say that. If you put, say, 5 or 6, and no disrespect to South, 5 or 6 Atlanta artists together, you're gonna get some similarities there.
Yep.
If you take Kanye, Common, Lupe, Twista, Rhyme Fest, put these guys on a record or put these guys in the same scenario, you're not gonna hear the same shit out of all of them. Hey man, we gotta support our individuality.
Yeah, we do.
Hey, we got anybody coming in? Any questions?
Let's think about Common's first album, Sold by the Pound.
Man.
That was crazy hip hop.
That was hip hop.
Give me a pound.
That was hip hop.
That shit is so I had a 70.
Hey, his first album sounded like he was a New York cat.
Right.
With a box in the back.
Right.
And I used to play that Give Me a Pound.
Right, they used to bang out.
Let's be honest. His first album sounded like he could have been from New York.
But that's what we was on in a sense. Cause I come back.
Everybody was on that.
Yeah.
Everybody
was
was
on Star Magic Twilight Song. And for them
wow, shout out to my man Twilight.
That's just what we was on. We had gold.
But that was the sound of the times back then. Everybody, that was it.
But you know what's ill though? Like on the South side at that time, you had Common doing that. But then out West, it was Crucial and Do or Die.
Yep.
All
Psychodrama.
different. All
different.
You know what I mean?
Shouts out to my people, Psychodrama.
Oh man.
So we used to do this club every Sunday. I used to host a comedy night at this place called Bitty Mulligan's. This way the fuck at the end of Sheridan.
My man used to throw it. What was his name? Mac.
Way at the end of Sheridan. Yeah, he was at the Nike joint.
Yeah.
Breath
Let me
smelling
ask
like
you
a
a
hot
question,
ass buzz.
As a producer, and even though most great producers go back in time and sample a lot of stuff and do stuff, how important is it to have the history of hip hop? Like as comics, me and Tony can sit and watch somebody's set and be like, we know where they got that.
That's Richard Pryor.
And we'll tell them because a lot of times the young comics don't know because they don't do the research. So I tell them like, you can't do a joke about having to pay for air, get your man your mama name, because Earthquake did that 12 years ago.
Right, exactly.
But that's because we study the craft.
Study the game, right?
But it be some motherfuckers out here thinking the shit so old.
Try not to sound like anybody else. So how hard is that to get across to young producers? And how frustrating is it when you look at hip hop and like nobody wants to create a lane? Like you got some people that create lanes, and then they get called fucking crazy,
right?
Because they do that. Like Kanye is
it's crazy,
lane,
right?
He's crazy though.
You know,
so how much of it? And you can tell Kanye's not doing it trying to be pop. This is just something that's in him. Whereas
like I say all the
Nicki
time,
Minaj,
she's
I'm trying to feel she's manufactured.
It's almost not to the point it's blatant with Nicki. But the thing I say about Common all the time, what I think Common, his greatest gift to me is that he refuses to conform to anything, including him. Like he ain't gonna do the same album twice himself. He like, so I'm not gonna conform to me. Everything is gonna be fresh and new. Like what Leon was talking about. Talk about also musicality and production, man. Like a lot of people out there think, it's easy. You hook a computer up and do all that.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Should an artist know how to, or a producer know how to read music or play an instrument, or you know what I'm saying, have some type of knowledge of music history, music theory, or is it possible to still be good without that? But does that make you better when you do?
It makes it just what you said, make it better. Like the beautiful thing about hip hop hip-hop is that it gave us an opportunity to take something that started from nothing and build it into something, right? But like you said, I think you got to take it further. That's just an entrance into the music business. Like for me, I did the same thing. Like I said, started as a DJ, studied music, through DJing, started making the music. So by the time I was 15, 16, I had already been in the studios and everything for the first time. So by the time I graduated from high school, I went to Columbia College.
Wow.
That's when I went to Columbia. Then I started studying music theory.
Right.
Then I started studying music business classes. You know what I mean? So I learned the bigger background. And then I studied all of my history. You know what I mean? I know all the way back to the jazz era, to what went on here in Chicago, all the way up until now. So, yeah, I think it's a never-ending journey, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's like with anything. I always say you're going to be better at no matter what you do if you respect the history of it. I always use Mike Tyson as an example. Mike Tyson became the best boxer he was because he knew who Joe Louis was. He knew who Sugar Ray Robinson was. He sat and watched the old fight films
and could round by round name
and
you
tell
there.
you what he getting ready to do. This guy's punch.
A funny story, like when about YP, we was going through the label thing, trying to decide which one we was gonna go with in the whole nine.
Now, real quick, talk about that process.
Okay.
Real quick, you an artist. Yeah. You and YP, you sitting down. You got people coming at you.
Yeah.
What do you look for in deciding where you going? It got to be the damn hardest thing in the world to do, bro.
It was.
I couldn't imagine being in that spot.
It was hard. I mean, because we had about 5 labels that were trying to actually sign him, so we really had to make the proper decision because it really was on us at the time. But what I look for is what first thing you just said. History. What has this label done historically with hip hop? That's the first thing.
That's very important.
You know what I mean? Second thing, currently, what are they doing with hip hop? You see what I'm saying? And then after that, it's the intangibles, like how much do the people in the building believe in the project? Because a lot of times you can, like we talked about earlier, you can get signed off having movement, or somebody else at another label might know somebody else at another label want to sign you, but they want they want to sign you because they don't want the other label to get you, not necessarily because they believe in you and they think that you hot, and then
you end up just sitting around doing no business.
Exactly. Right. So we had to make a decision based on passion of the people that was trying to sign. Did they get us? Did they believe in it? Did they have a plan or action on how to go about forward? And once we did that, we took it down, narrowed it down, and then took the history into account, narrowed it down again.
So I mean, you sit there and you throwing a whole lot of stuff out.
Yeah.
Not one time did I hear you say money.
No, man.
So I mean, at the end of the day, was it about how much y'all was gonna get, or were you more concerned about this guy's career as a whole, longevity-wise? Anybody can get a big-ass check off the butt and then go away, you know what I'm saying?
Go away, and I've been in a part of those situations before, and I don't want to do that again. And YP was smart enough to say the same thing, like, you know what, bro, I'm cool. I want to make sure the situation is right. Let's make sure the money is, because at the end of the day,
here's a guy, but I mean, you just think about what you're saying. Here's a guy that's getting ready to get his first deal.
Yeah.
He's been struggling all this time. He's been putting it down. And he get a chance, you get all these people lined up. It's easy to go out there and take the first damn thing that sounds good. But here's a guy like, man, look, I need to be okay. It ain't about the money.
Tony, I'm finna drop one of me and you favorites. And I did not know, I just got informed by my man, Johnny Small, that this man made this beat. And you know this is our shit.
Oh, wow.
Hold on, wait, this is our shit.
Oh, we got to play an Xtreme beat that Leon just found out. My man L.I. just found out.
Oh, yeah.
You made this?
Yeah, man.
Get the fuck out of here. It's like, this is what I'm talking about, that woo shit. Man, and then Ross dropped this ball.
Ross went crazy.
Every day when we came in this motherfucker,
Man,
I started calling my wife the timeline straight.
Dog, that lock
Man.
I told my wife, I said,
Pick up a minute, got picking paper up. Twitter thug, I'm the timeline strangler.
You went crazy on
You went
this,
ham
man.
on it.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop letting us know you made that.
Man.
So you was about to drop that anyway? You was about to drop that?
No.
We done
He told you.
We done tore this studio up in here on this shit.
Up to this shit.
Oh, wow. That's love,
Pick up a
man.
minute, head and nigga picking paper up.
Playing on GCI. It's too hip hop.
Wow. Hey, I was a fan. I'm just even more of a fan now, dog. That's my baby right there, man.
Axlo. I tried
What?
trying.
I mean, when he came in here with this shit.
Yo, man.
Like, what are you on?
Fuck these people. This shit go hard. And was like, woo.
That's what's up, man. Nah, you know, that's that. But you know what? That was one of them times where, like, when Ray was doing that album, and he hooked that up. That was all his hookup right there. But when Ray was doing this album, it was like he didn't have RZA involved. Right. So it was kind of like they was trying.
Yeah, I remember that when they had that.
He called the album Shaolin versus Wu-Tang.
Right, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
But so it was kind of like, damn, okay. So I was like, man, let me give him my best this verse.
Picking a little, had a nigga picking paper up. Twitter thug, I'm the timeline strangler.
Hold on. My shit is fuck showers.
Right.
Yeah, that nigga say, so fuck showers. Woo,
Hey, that's one of his most underrated verses, bro.
Hey, that's when I ain't gonna lie. That's the verse right there. That's the verse right there. I think where I was like, okay, I feel roast, but that one right there, I was like, yeah, he the truth.
Yeah,
he the truth right there.
Look, he jumped on some shit that you never even thought that he would be
on the
able
Raekwon joint, right?
Man,
exactly.
bro, I was like, because when Ray first told me,
I don't even want to get back there no more.
He like,
hey man. We about to ride on up out of here, man.
When I came in,
he came in and played that shit right here on the live stream, yo.
Molasses with Rick Ross said the track is fucking insane, and Tony was like, "All right, nigga, you know, all right, come on with it."
Right.
Man, he played that shit.
Went home. He's like, "Hey man, burn me a copy."
Yeah, I came back the next day like, "Hey man, you got that there Raekwon thing? Yeah, man, put that shit in my computer."
And I was like,
ridiculous. I remember I rolled with that joint. I rolled with that joint probably for. I ain't gonna lie. I think I rolled with that joint. That was the only song I listened to for a week.
Damn.
Hey Lee, I ain't lying. I would put it. I had it on the CD in my car. Yeah. I would just rewind that motherfucker, just play it over and over and over again, dude.
Yeah, I'm not cutting.
That's what I do this shit for.
Real
that response, y'all.
Real
That's what I
tough.
do this for, man.
Hey,
the money, all that shit is whatever. You get that, but that's what I do it for.
Well, you know, motherfucking real cats listen to that shit in their cars, rewinding that shit.
Man.
I'm damn near swerving in the oncoming. Y'all hear that shit?
Oh man. And you know what's so crazy? He was trying to get me with Raekwon for 2 years, and I literally was just kind of blowing him off, like whatever, man. He's like Raekwon is how you want to come down. I'm like, cause look, he'll know, like. And no, I don't chase niggas.
I feel
you never should.
You look better like that.
You never should. And you never should. And let him out of that. You focus on.
And I kept telling him, I said, if they ain't talking about no money, I'm not coming to meet him. And he was like, no, I think he needs some joints. I was like, all right, I'll come.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
I'm not, cause you like me. I ain't for the old social meetings. Listen to a bunch of meetings. Meeting for what?
I ain't about to
meet about some paper.
I ain't about to do that. Let's talk about some paper. Let's get it cracking.
Let's talk about some paper.
But Ray was love, man. I mean, it was the greatest.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest, man. Ray, one of the coolest cats. Me and Leon did we did the Rock the Bells, man. And dude, set up in Fifth and Hennessy with us backstage. And it was right when that shit had happened where they had to with the Inspector Dead where they had to jump on the dude for talking that shit about meth.
Yeah.
And man, just the dude chopped it up with
let me tell you what else was cool, but we couldn't stop laughing.
My man, fucking Fame.
Oh, man.
Fame.
Like, not only is the nigga teeth messed up, but he got a grill to go over.
Yeah, over the.
He got the worst grill in hip hop.
Like, yes,
like
I took money.
That motherfucking grill stick out like this, man. I like how your grill stick out like this, man.
You talking through it.
This real fast. Hey, man, you know, MOP gonna do it. Man, hey, but on the flip side, the motherfucker that we thought, but on the flip side of that, the one motherfucker there that we thought would see us and be like, oh man, my brother's some real rap fans out here. They covering it for the station. Yo, these cats out here backstage. They here, they with the radio station. I'm gonna give them a couple. Man, the Blast Master players. Hey, you mean? Hey, yo, man. KRS. Man, I know you busy, man, but look, me and my man Leon, WGCI Morning Show. We just here covering Rock the Bell. And we just want a couple words with you.
Right.
Yo, man, I'm trying to watch this shit here and like push me away and walk to the stage. I think who was on stage was, I'm just like, motherfucker, you really gonna leave me to go look at, really get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
I'm talking about, I wasn't even that
I was crushed.
That's crazy.
I was crushed. I'm like, KRS, come on, baby.
Right, that's you don't expect that.
Yeah. We got any questions, anything before we go?
Who do you think the hottest young artists are here in the city?
In the city?
In the city of Chicago, who you out there messing with right now?
Outside of YP, of course, I'm gonna say YP, man. I like Rocky Fresh.
Rocky Fresh.
I like Mikey Rocks. I actually was just in the studio with Mikey Rocks the night before last. Did something crazy with him. It's a lot, bro. I mean, them off the top of my head, like Louis, of course. I like Louis a lot.
King Louis movement is huge.
It's huge, man. But off the top of my head, them like the main people. Then you got a bunch of other people like Mars, and it's just a lot of people, man. But them off the top, man. Them the people I'm feeling the most right now.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, X, for coming through.
Man, thank y'all.
Let everybody in Chicago know how they can get at you, man. Facebook,
Man,
Twitter,
you know, I'm on
anything
Twitter,
like
man. Twitter is Xtreme _XTREME _beats with a Z.
Cool.
That's me at Twitter. Holla at me.
All right, what's next for you? What can we expect on the street?
Man, wait for this YP. YP single, and y'all gave it a lot of love.
Man.
Who I Be record?
Who I Be?
That's
going
national now. That's going national. So I'm actually leaving.
You know who I Be?
Yeah, I'm leaving to mix that. So look out for that, and look out for YP new mixtape and album coming in the next few months.
Hey, that's my man. Shouts out to YP, man. You know what I like about him too. You're a humble brother.
Man, to One Off Entertainment too, man.
Yes, sir.
Conjunction who I did this thing with, man. Love.
All right, man. It's your man Tony Sco. We about to ride out. That was another live stream after party. Shouts to my man Xtreme. Shouts to YP. Shouts to all of Chicago, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Tony Sco Morning Riot Show. We start at 5 on the dot.